wonderful cozy season. It is a cold, snowy winter's evening, and I am just so here for the vibes. And I felt really pulled to start a new vlog and hopefully actually continue a vlog. So my house is coming together, my new home. I love it here so much. I cannot explain how much I love my new home. And I would really love to like show a little bit of my house around, like a little house tour. So I'll show you maybe some of my favorite little spots and corners, but I hope you all are doing really well. Thank you so incredibly much for being here. So entering this year, I have a lot of goals. I have a lot of things that I really want to do. I feel very inspired right now. It's the new year. That's not a new thing to experience. Like, I feel so inspired, but like truly, I feel really inspired to read more. I have already finished 2 audiobooks this year. I am so proud of myself, because 2023, sadly, was not a good reading year for me. I think I read less than 30 books. I think I maybe listened to like 2 or 3 audiobooks. They were not great. It was really hard for me to focus on audiobooks, and I did not have a single 5-star read at all in 2023, which was such a bummer. I really want to turn that around this year. So I've already finished 3 books in total for this year, which is amazing, and I'm really proud of myself. And that's exactly what I want to be doing right now, is reading as much as I can and using my phone way less. Not getting lost in different apps and getting distracted, but like actually just reading. And today I decided to pick up Madame de Lafayette's Princess of Cleves, and I am loving this. I can't express, like, reading it, I genuinely feel like a Victorian woman who is like, oh, scandalous, like this is so titillating, and like, I don't know, I feel like I'm reading it from the time period it's written. This was originally published in 1678 by Madame de Lafayette, and my edition is translated by Nancy Mitford. This is a classic piece of French literature, and it is often described as the first of all modern quote-unquote novels. It was translated in 1951, and it is the story of this young Parisian girl who's only 16, and she is introduced to this whole court of French royals, basically a lot of princes, counts, monsieurs and mademoiselles. I don't know, there are so many different titles for these people. I cannot keep them straight. Honestly, the beginning of this book had me so confused. We were introduced to like 40 different characters in maybe 3 pages. It was talking about who was dating who or who was related to who, and I was like, I cannot retain this information at all. There is no way in hell I can remember all of this. By page like 11, we started getting into an actual story. We're following this young girl who's 16, Mademoiselle de Chartres. Like I said, she's only 16, and she is like the most beautiful, virgin, pure woman in the land. She's introduced to all these people, and like literally every man is falling in love with her. Every man wants to marry her, but this is a place of aristocracy, of petty gossip, of everyone just sitting around in parlors and talking and gossiping, and it is so tense. It is so over the top dramatic, but it's so fascinating. We hardly get any dialogue. We're just getting a lot of like, because of this, so-and-so then did that, and because of that, she no longer could marry him. So our main character becomes Princess of Cleves. She does get married, and she starts to have feelings for someone other than her husband. So like, because was she really that interested? She had so many suitors, and it's all about wealth and power. And I've annotated quite a bit, and I'm so grateful I have this edition because my copy has been annotated by somebody before me. Definitely seems like a student because it is very thoroughly annotated. Sorry for any background noise, my heat just kicked on in my house, but this part that I annotated I think perfectly exemplifies the writing style, but also what this book is about, what this novel is about. It reads, "The court gravitated round ambition and love, the chief occupations of men and women alike, for there were so many factions and intrigues, and the women played so large a part in them that love and politics were inseparable. Tranquility, indifference, boredom, and idleness were unknown. Everybody was busily trying to better their positions by pleasing, by helping, or by hindering somebody else. The occupations of the day were pleasure and plots." And that is literally what this is about. It's just about people being really nosy, spreading rumors, gossiping. It is so intriguing, and I really like it. I am so surprised I like it so much. I really wanted to start the year off with like a classic literature with a female author. I think this is so cool. Prior to picking up this edition, I had never heard of Madame de Lafayette, no idea. So I would love to hear your thoughts if you've heard of her as well if you've read any of her work from the 1600s. I am so thoroughly pleased by this. I'm loving it so incredibly much. And I got this beautiful new bookmark for Christmas. I love it so much. It is like very thick. It feels almost like wallpaper with like a little ribbon tassel. So cute. So I am just thriving right now, honestly. 2024 has been so good to me. I feel so good and happy and grateful, and it is such a beautiful start to a beautiful year. I really feel like 2024 is like gonna be my best year yet, hopefully. That's just kind of the energy I feel right now. It feels so incredibly good to be in my beautiful house. I'd love to show you around now that it's like a little dark out and show you how moody it is in here. But first off, shout out to my little mushroom sconces. I'll get you a little closer, but yeah, they're little mushrooms. So we're gonna be reading The Princess of Cleves. I have a little bit of work I need to do tonight, and I have a lot of editing I want to do, so I'll probably be cozying up with a cup of tea, working on my couch, either listening to an audiobook, because right now I'm currently listening to Chrome Yellow by Aldous Huxley, which is a Huxley I'd never heard of before. It doesn't look like it has a lot of ratings on Goodreads either, but I'm loving it. It is satire, it is so funny. It's about like aristocratic, artsy people who get together for a dinner party, but they're all so atrociously bizarre. Very, very quirky. It kind of feels like a Mad Hatter tea party, but it's very elitist, and everyone thinks really, really highly of their art, but it's just kind of silly things, which I love. I love that. That's kind of the energy I'm feeling in 2024, is a lot of like intellectual pieces and underground work that I personally haven't heard of, and just finding things. I want to find something that really wows me, that makes me feel good, that feels creative and inspiring. So that's where we're at, my friends. I hope you could get really, really cozy, enjoy a winter's night with me, enjoy a winter's week. We're gonna see what the week brings, and I'll tell you my thoughts more on The Princess of Cleves, and I'll show you around my house real quick. But I hope y'all are doing really, really well, my friends. Okay, this is the gorgeous living room. These are indeed mushroom sconces. I love them. Some art that you might recognize from my older videos. This section here of the house is my favorite. This house was built in the 1940s, and it has built-in bookshelves here, which I decided to keep very minimal and just have a lot of plants. Just a lot of fun things. I love it. Definitely still in the process of hanging up more art, but bathroom we've got some, and in the hallway, and in there's my bedroom, which doesn't have all of my art hung up yet, so I will wait until that's ready. But for now, we'll see if Winston's awake up here. So this is the guest bedroom. I had to move the nightstand downstairs for the record player, so trying to figure out this situation, but I do believe. Oh my goodness! Hi! Oh my goodness, you're too cute. Okay. This is Winston's room, basically. This is a giant stuffed catfish that I found. And then these are the bookshelves of books I've already read. So this is like my loaning library, basically, full focus. And I also thrifted this mirror, which is such a cool find. Yeah, I love this room. This was kind of the first room I actually fully put together. So everything else is still a work in progress. I would love to get a rug here and kind of really fill out the space. my gosh, friends, I have read so much. So much has happened. I think I only have about like 70-ish pages left. I'm around 140 page mark right now. I'm gonna have to talk about it a little bit more with like a full, thorough recap, but so much has happened and I can't express how giddy this book makes me. I truly feel so like giddy, and I feel like this is what people who read romance feel like, and I never really experienced that. I'm not a romance girly, but maybe it's because it's so taboo, you know, you can't be forward about your feelings. Everything is so subtle and almost like passive aggressive, and it's all through tiny gestures that people are expressing I like you or there's affection. It is just so good, and it's so titillating, and it's so dramatic, and like I can't stop reading it. I've read so much. It has only been one full day since I've updated you, since I started this. So I've been flying through it. It's been so long since I've been so excited to read, and I'm literally actually laughing out loud. Like to myself, I am laughing out loud. I'm annotating so much in here too, with like girlhood, sweet man, screaming, emotional manipulation, gaslighter. The characters are so well-rounded. They're so rich. I love them, and I feel so bad for them. It's like, I'm just like, truly, look at me and my pearl necklace. I'm clutching my pearls with this book. It makes me so happy. I can't express how happy this book makes me. So my plan is definitely to finish this. Not tonight, then tomorrow morning for sure. So that's my quick little update. I'm just so grateful I started off the year with this book. I'm just loving it so much. Oh, okay, okay. Wait, what? No. Oh, God damn it. Oh! What? What will women do to avoid men? Screaming! He saw that it was a significant move. Yeah. Laugh my ass off. Oh my God. Bro, what the fuck? Shook. That was not where I thought that was gonna go. That is not the ending I thought would happen in my wildest dreams. Well fucking done. Well done. Oh my God. Like 1600s bop right here. This is a banger. This is amazing. Phenomenal. We need more books like this. Written for like 400 years ago. My God. Absolutely incredible. Oh my God. Oh my God. No words. Hello there, friends. It has been a little bit since I've updated you. I've got some things I want to chat about. It has been such a lovely week. Today is absolutely freezing. We've had so much snow here. It is currently like 1 degree Fahrenheit out. I am going to take myself to the art museum. I want to bring around with me this cute little notebook that I got. I was graciously gifted quite a few Barnes & Noble gift cards for Christmas, and I decided I wanted to get like a little pocket-sized notebook for sketches, art, journaling, poetry, whatever. I'm a very avid journaler and I wanted something a little mini. So I want to bring this with me, get some inspiration, feel inspired. So that's my plan for today. So I got this cute little journal, so pretty. And I also got some Faber-Castell pens. It's been a while since I've played with these. I just want to have fun. Let's get creative. That's a big goal of mine for this new year as well, is just being more mindful and present instead of just pulling up my phone. Make a little doodle. Draw a little, write something down. My notes app on my phone is way too saturated. I have probably like 400 different notes. Let's just write stuff down again, okay? Also at Barnes & Noble, you might have seen in the little montage, I decided to get my own copy of The Master and the Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov, and this is the 50th anniversary edition. I have been looking for years. At every used bookstore I go to, I look for a used edition of The Master and the Margarita. Can never find it. So after years of searching, I just decided, you know what? I was given gift cards. Let's just buy a brand new copy. This has deckled edges. It is a very cool copy, but I was really looking for just something that wasn't so, I don't know. It's fine. It's a great size. I will say it's a very good size, but I really wanted a nice weathered copy. So I'm really excited to read this year. My goal is definitely to read it sometime in the spring or something. I just really want to read it. So there's that. And now it's time for me to talk about The Princess of Cleves, Madame de Lafayette. Also, I think my heat is going to kick on quite a bit. And I'm so sorry if the audio is total shit in this video. If you couldn't tell, I absolutely adored this novel. I adored it. I loved it. I did not anticipate a shock ending, a plot twist of that dimension in the last like 2 pages. I was shocked. I was utterly shocked. I was just screaming. It was the best book that I've read in a really long time because it was so enjoyable to actually read it. It was pleasurable. It wasn't that dense. It wasn't that difficult to read. It was actually pretty easy to read. It is translated from French, like I said, by Nancy Mitford, and it's just a wonderful translation. It glides, it flows, it's very easy to understand what's happening. I think the most challenging part is differentiating all of the characters with their names and their placements in the French court. So there are dukes, there are princes, sometimes the princes are referred to as monsieurs. It's just like, I don't really know their ranking. I don't understand why there are 2 queens. I don't know who's related to who. So that was the only thing that was a little tricky. So Madame de Lafayette was also the Countess de Lafayette, and her real name is Marie Madeleine Rocher de la Vernay, and she's a Parisian lady of fashion and great wit who probably received help from her friend, the Duc de la Rochefoucauld, author of the famous Maxims. It recreates with matchless vitality the lives and loves of the 16th century courtiers of King Henry II of France. And in this is true factual things about Catholicism and the creation and separation of like divorce and beheadings. So there are actual factual historical elements in this book, and it furthers the plot along as well because it kind of tells the different political climate that they're in right now, that things are changing. A lot of the characters in this book like have mistresses, have other people in their lives, and their wives know about it. Things are just done for status and for value and for rational motive, right? It's not necessarily for lust or ardor. And our main character, Princess of Cleves, because she does marry the Prince of Cleves, falls in love with the Monsieur de Nemours, and de Nemours falls in love with the Princess of Cleves. And it is this rot, we can't talk about this, but we know that there's affection, but like I don't want him to know that I like him, or I don't want him to know that I know that he likes me. It is this dense thing, but the Prince of Cleves is also aware of these things, so it's everyone knowing things about other people but not bringing it up to their faces, communicating through letter writing or through petty gossip. It's just so delicious. It was so delicious to me. I can't explain why this was just the most fun I've had reading a book in a long time. At least several months where like I couldn't wait to pick it up. I was actively engaged with it, where I was gasping and laughing. It was just so fun. It's only been like a day or two since I finished this novel, and I do find myself thinking about it. It was so good. I just did not see that ending happening at all. I love what this said about like love and what women will do to prevent their names being tarnished, which is a real conversation we should be having, is the repercussions of just being a female or being a woman in any society. It is just so disturbing. The Princess of Cleves just like wants to maintain her sense of identity and her sense of her place in this French court, and she doesn't want the affection of men to like ruin all of that. But at the same time, she knows she deserves love. It's either she's gonna hurt a bunch of people or people are gonna say mean things about her. Like, this is applicable to now. Like, it feels like this is incredibly relevant still. So much of what we do as humans, of any gender, any class, is we're so concerned about what other people are gonna think. What are they gonna say about us? Like, this anxiety, this preconceived notion of like, oh my gosh, how can I be interpreted? How could I be perceived? How could this ruin me? And I just thought it was so incredibly well done. It was so smart. It was so intellectual. I loved how flamboyant these characters are. I love how well fleshed out they were. They were just so funny. I really loved it. So this was great. I highly recommend it if you're looking for just a really fun classic literature romp that is easily accessible. I feel like it was pretty easy to digest and understand what was happening. It wasn't too purple prosy. So that's The Princess of Cleves. I adored it. For me personally, I will know if it's a 5-star read at the end of like the month. If I still find myself thinking about it, if I've read more books and I'm kind of mentally comparing to the experience of reading this, I know more and more if it's a 5-star because it's a very personable feeling. If you follow me on Goodreads, I don't really rate books at all. When I say a 5-star read, I mean like something that is a new favorite of all time, and I think I need to come up with a new tiered verbiage for that. I don't want to keep saying 1-star, 2-star, 3, because that's not what I think about it. There are different rankings, and a really, really good book that some might consider a 5-star read, for me, is something that was there at the perfect time. I needed to read it. It felt like it was written for me in that exact specific, like it's very, very hyper specific. So this was such an enjoyable read. We'll see if it lingers with me, but it was so fun. I loved it. So there's that. As soon as I finished that, I was really struggling to figure out what I wanted to read next, and I decided to pick up How to Be Both by Allie Smith, and I'm loving this. I think I'm 100 pages through, exactly 100 pages through. How to Be Both is a genre-bending, surreal, beautifully written, almost historical fiction, abstract piece. We open up with a series of just strings of words and flow of poetry. And we're getting this sense of falling. Somebody is falling, something is happening, someone is being pulled and dragged, and then we hop into this narrative and we open up this novel with a painter who is a ghost, and they land in front of a person who is viewing the main character's art. So for reference, I will say the main character that we're following right now, his name is Francesco. Francesco was a classic painter in the 1400s, and Francesco lands behind this person who is viewing Francesco's art in a museum. Francesco's trying to understand what is happening. Am I a ghost? I am tied to this person. I don't know who this person is. From the back of their head, they look like a boy, but like that's all I know. I can't see their face, and they're just looking at Francesco's painting that they did who knows how long ago, what time period we're in. And then things start to unravel from there. We're getting backstories. Francesco is like telling us this story of their life and growing up and knowing at a young age they wanted to be a painter, and a little bit more about them as a character. And there are no pronouns really. It is so beautifully written. It is very interesting. It has the cadence of like a Jeanette Winterson or E.E. Cummings even, where just certain things are spelled differently. There's a lot of liberty and creativity with this writing style that I absolutely love. and I resonate with it very deeply. That is how I personally love to write, and reading it is just such a fun experience because it is a narrative. It's telling us the story, but it is not linear. We're bouncing between Francesco following this person around the city in more modern day. This was published in 2014. Bouncing to Francesco's past, growing up as a child into young adulthood, wanting to be a painter. I am really loving this. It's so good. I'm so scared to venture out into the world because it is so cold, but I really want to be around art. I really want to feel inspired. I will have to check in with you all later, but I'll bring you along with me to the museum. We're kicking off the year really strong with beautiful pieces of literature, beautiful pieces of art, and that's exactly what I want to be doing. I'm kind of romanticizing my own life here, but that's what makes life beautiful, is actually going and experiencing beautiful things and going out of your way to experience beautiful things. Sometimes they don't just fall into your lap. You have to curate them and you have to make time for them, and that's what I'm going to do on this beautiful Sunday. is another cold, snowy day, and I'm here to wrap up the vlog. I am currently so far into How to Be Both. I've read so much lately. I'm now on page 238. I think I have like 130 pages left, so I'm really loving this. I am going to be traveling quite a bit. Actually, every weekend for the next month, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be up north, and then I'll be in Chicago, Toronto, and then back into my hometown. So a lot of travel is coming up soon, and I want to take you all with me, but my goal is to finish this before I leave for my trip in a few days here. So I want to read as much as possible, finish this book. I can bring a new book with me. And I have a few books in mind for my upcoming trips. I have some classics I'd really love to read. We'll see at the end of this if it makes me feel like I want to read more of like a fast-paced narrative, because this is so non-linear and very abstract and surreal, but it's still telling a story. So I don't know what I'm going to be craving once I finish this, so we'll see. So stay tuned. I hope you all are doing really, really well. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. This was so much fun to make. This was so much fun to film. I absolutely loved taking you all along with me through Princess of Cleves, How to Be Both, to an art museum, cozy nights at home, enjoying those slow, darker winter months. It's been really nice to slow down and read so much. It feels really, really, really good. I don't know if I talked about it on here either, but I finished reading Chrome Yellow, and now I'm listening to a memoir on audio, and I'm absolutely loving it. It is so good. And I'm getting back into my habit, if you've been here from the beginning, of reading fiction, nonfiction, fiction, nonfiction, but through audiobooks. That's my plan for 2024, is to listen to a fiction, then a nonfiction, alternate between the two. And I'm loving it. I think memoirs are so fun to listen to. It keeps me very engaged. So I'm just having a great time in physical reading, listening. It's just been fabulous. And I'm so, so grateful and so lucky. So if you want to comment something but you don't know what to comment, let's definitely comment like a castle emoji for Princess of Cleves, or any sense of royalty. You can do a crown, any like princessy vibes. And then for How to Be Both, we definitely have to do some eyes, a hand, maybe like a little flower. Have fun with it. I love seeing all the emoji creations. But thank you all again so incredibly much. I really hope you enjoyed this vlog. This was so fun for me. I can't wait to see you all again very soon for my next video. Stay cozy, my friends. Bye!